beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're talking about a brand new foundation from Tarte. This is the Foundcealer. This is currently available. I picked this up as a part of my VIB sale haul from Sephora, and I have been using this for, I'd say, a little over a week at this point. So I'm gonna run down all the details. I'm gonna show you an application demo. We're also gonna do some wear testing today. It is very hot today. It's 88 degrees, so I've already been wearing this for a few hours, and I'm going to go outside, go take the dog on a walk, and see how this holds up to some really intense heat and sun. First, let's just break down some of the product info. The Foundcealer is retail priced at $39. It is 1 fluid ounce of product, so pretty pricey. I feel like $40 for a foundation is a lot, so I really expect a lot from this foundation. There are 30 shades in total, so a pretty decent shade range. Definitely not an offensive shade range, but also not the most spectacular. Nowadays, we're so used to seeing 40, 50. Now, Pure Cosmetics coming out the gate with 100 shades. So I think 30 is pretty reasonable, but not like groundbreaking shade range or anything. One thing I will say is Tarte does a really good job with undertones. As somebody with a neutral undertone, I really don't find a lot of truly neutral undertoned foundations. For example, you guys know I love Too Faced, but a lot of their base products do tend to pull pretty peach or pretty golden on me, so I'm very satisfied with my shade match. I use the shade 16 in, which is fair light neutral, and I do feel like this is truly a neutral undertone. It doesn't look too pink, it doesn't look gray, it's just, I feel like they did a great job on the undertones, at least the neutral undertones. Obviously, this is the only skin tone that I have to match. I'm not a makeup artist, so I can't speak to the others. But for my neutral friends out there, Tarte really does do a good job with their neutral undertones. This does have a broad spectrum SPF 20, which is great. I don't feel that is enough sun protection for me, for my face, for all day. So when I'm gonna be outside, I will put a face sunscreen on underneath of this, but it is always nice to have a little extra protection. This also contains Babassu oil, which is a palm oil, a vegetable oil from a palm seed. From what I've read, it's used very similarly to coconut oil. It contains a lot of lipids, which are fats, so it's supposed to be really moisturizing, and that really makes sense in the context of this foundation because this is a radiant finish foundation. It also contains sunflower seed and hyaluronic acid. I find that pretty interesting. I just added some hyaluronic acid into my skincare routine, and I do feel like it's made a difference in my hydration, so that's nice. It is free of parabens, mineral oil, it's vegan, it's cruelty-free, it's gluten-free. It says that the formula is blendable, customizable, maybe that just means buildable, glides over your face without cracking, caking, or settling, and it helps hydrate and give the appearance of fuller, healthy looking skin, and lets you live your day your way. You couldn't do that without foundation. I always laugh a little bit at these descriptions. They're always a little bit corny. I have to say, as somebody with dry skin, I do tend to agree with a lot of those claims. Like I said, I've been wearing this foundation for several days now, and as far as those claims go, I don't really have a lot to disagree with. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the application demo and all the wear tests, and then I will wrap up all my thoughts at the end. I'm using the shade 16 in. This is fair light neutral, and to cover my entire face, and I do also go down onto my neck a little bit, I end up using about 1.5 pumps. So I do get a pretty decent coverage without having to pile this all on, but I do go for more of a light to medium coverage. That's just most comfortable to me. So I'm gonna spread this out, kind of dot it all over my face. And then to blend it in, instead of using a sponge, I've actually been using this Doll 10 number 9 Kabuki brush. And as you can see, I'm not wiping the product. I'm more like pressing it in and sort of dabbing it and smushing it around. That way I don't get any brush marks. I just find that I get the best finish and the best coverage with a kabuki brush instead of a sponge. I think because this is a little bit lighter and a little bit more radiant, I wasn't getting a very decent coverage with a damp sponge. However, once I apply all of my concealer, I sort of run over my entire face, patting it with a damp sponge. But for general application, I really prefer this kabuki brush. Here's a close-up of just the foundation on my skin, no concealer, no powder. This is just the Foundcealer foundation on my face. Next, I'm going to show you a close-up here. This is after applying some concealer and powder. I did do a light powdering all over my face with the Too Faced Do You powder. I like to do that to just keep my makeup in place all day. And because I am using powder color products like bronzer and blush, I find that a light powdering helps those things to apply and adhere better all day long. Next, I'm going to show you my finished makeup. Okay, so here is a close-up of the foundation after I've finished all my other makeup. I've been wearing this foundation for about 2 hours now. I think it looks pretty good so far. Not mad at it. Okay, I am back from walking the dog. Thankfully, the clouds rolled in a little bit, so it wasn't as much direct sunlight beating down on my face as it would have been earlier today, but it is still pretty hot. And for my final check-in, I have to say, I feel like this foundation has held up really beautifully. Keep in mind, I did add concealer, powder, and like other makeup on top, but of course, that's how I would wear it normally, so I feel like that's pretty valid as far as a wear test goes. Let's take a close look here. So this is what it looks like. I've got a little bit of foundation like hanging out around my nose right here, but that's normal. That's also probably because I put concealer and powder on my nose as well. But overall, I mean, this just looks like my skin. I really feel like the finish on this is absolutely beautiful. You can see it wore off a little bit here on my nose. That's pretty normal. Still looks good on my forehead. Maybe a little bit shiny, but really not too bad at all. Got a little bit of foundation hanging out here in my forehead lines. Again, I have forehead lines. I'm a 30-something-year-old human, so nothing in my smile lines. So overall, after several days of testing this foundation and doing a full wear test today, I am very pleased with the wear time, the finish, the shade match. I also want to point out that I really like the packaging on this. This is plastic, so it's nice and lightweight, still feels sturdy. I would be very comfortable traveling with this, especially because of the way the lid locks. You twist to bring the pump out and then you listen for this click. That means that the pump is fully out and ready to go. If you don't twist all the way to the click, you just twist it out. When you try to push the pump, it'll just go back down in. And then it also locks closed, so when you twist it closed, oh, that click is more quiet, then it's locked and nothing can come out. I'm a fan. The only thing I'll say is I don't feel like this is really able to be built up to a full coverage. Personally, I don't like full coverage foundation. I just don't like the way it looks. It doesn't fit my life. So if you're looking for full coverage, you're not gonna get that here, but the finish is really radiant, definitely very healthy looking, super comfortable. Yeah, I'm really a fan of this. If you have dry skin, I highly recommend this foundation. I used the Sephora shade matching tool on their website to select my shade. And I mean, I feel like the shade match came out great. It matches my body. My face is a little bit, I've gotten some sun lately, so you saw in the demo when I was applying it that this is a little bit lighter than my face, but I think it is overall a great shade match. It looks really natural, beautiful. I'm a fan, yes. If you liked the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea water foundation, then I think you'll like this because I loved that water foundation and I like this even more. This is like if the Rainforest of the Sea water foundation and L'Oreal Pro Glow had a baby, it would be this. That's pretty high praise because I like both of those foundations a lot. If you are interested in this product, especially if you're not sure of your shade, I would highly recommend going in store, go into a Sephora and test out the shades, ask for a sample. They're usually really good about giving samples. That way you can wear it for yourself and see if this is something that might work for you, for your skin type, for the kind of makeup that you like. Now's the time when I want to hear what you think about this foundation. Is this something that you're interested in trying? I always love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Now we're Ma'am? Yeah, I mean, not shabby. It's not shabby at all. Okay, calm down. I don't know. Is Tarte still canceled for the Shape Tape foundation? I don't know. I'm not really big on canceling. I mean, sometimes I take breaks and some things I'm just not interested in, but I'm not a big canceler. Call me crazy. I was holding that cough in the whole time. Now that I'm done with my video, can I like powder a little bit? Mama's got other stuff to film today. Well, one more thing to film, then I gotta go because it's getting towards the end of the day. Time's running out. Oh yeah, she's so glowy. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, I'll calm down. All right. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye.